What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Truck Talk, brought to you by me, inspired by my man Chili. I'm glad you guys are here today. Big news before we get into the conversation. Truck Talk is moving. It has its own dedicated channel now here on YouTube. You can click the link in the description of this episode or in the title. It's going to take you over to the new Truck Talk channel. That's where I'll be. So if you guys enjoy Truck Talk, go there, subscribe, because that's where we are now. I won't go into the details of why we had to do that, but we did. So that's your news for today. Other than that, this ceasefire deal over in the Ukraine, it's a U.S.-Ukraine led ceasefire deal. They've sent it over to Russia now, and they're waiting for Russia to either approve or disapprove or reject the ceasefire deal. How on earth is this happening now? Big Daddy Trump just got in power, and all of a sudden we're already now talking about a ceasefire to this war that's been going on for years now. How on earth is this happening? I'm going to tell you how it's happening and why it's happening. Because when Mr. Vladimir Putin, when he looks over here at the U.S. now, he don't see an old geriatric freaking geezer with dementia sitting at the helm. Russia looks over here now and he says, well, good night. We might ought to consider ending this war over here because the U.S. is looking pretty strong, and they're liable to come over here and stomp a mud hole in our tails. That's why these negotiations are even possible now. Everything in this world is controlled by the person or the people or the government who can bring forth the most violence. That's what everything's based off of. All law and order, good and evil, it's all based off of who can bring forth the most violence. You guys have heard the saying, peace through strength. That's a reality. Nobody's going to listen to your opinion or negotiate with you unless they think, well, I might ought to hear them out because they liable to come over here and mess me up. That's how everything works. That's how individual conflicts play out. If you're freaking pipsqueak, nobody cares about negotiating with you. And the funny thing is, speaking of this, the reality of this principle, there is a day coming when the world will experience a season of peace because power will be consolidated. That day is coming. That peace won't last long. And the reason it won't last long is because man cannot wield power for righteous purposes. Because there's a problem with man, and it resides in his heart and in his flesh. He is altogether unrighteous. We are filled with greed and envy and strife and hatred. But that day's coming. Don't get fooled by it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Go join us on the Truck Talk channel. And if you got anything out of this, get you a hat, get you a t-shirt, keep my man Chili in the dungeon. I'll see you guys next time. Enough said.